Hi, Darren Stewart with Stewart and Stewart Attorneys. We're back talking with Lieutenant DJ Schoeff with the Carmel Police Department. He's talked with us before about active shooter situations, and I want to talk with Lieutenant Schoeff about a couple other things. Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. We appreciate it. The community relations aspects with the Carmel Police Department, again, we have an outstanding department with the relationships with communities and reaching out, education, and really the availability of the department when people have issues or questions, concerns is phenomenal. And you guys do a lot of that community relation work. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we actually have a great group of folks that work in community relations and work in our social media, our media, of course, that aspect of it, and responding to the media and any incidents that we may have and developing press release of that nature. But we also have a large collection of different things. Our Citizens Academy that we have, which is a great opportunity for citizens in our community to come in and spend a period of time with us over several weeks. And we have different guest speakers come in from the department and share certain aspects of what they do in their role, from our SWAT team to our patrol officers to the school resource officers. Just everybody comes in and just shares a little bit about their role in the police department. Helps our citizens understand really the full encompassing act of law enforcement in the communities that we have.
When is that offered? Is that offered throughout the year? Is that typically in the summer? I'm testing you now.
Yes, you are testing me now.
But it's offered throughout the year.
Yeah, it's offered throughout the year.
Usually
I think there's either one or two classes per year.
And that's on the website.
And it is on the website.
Okay, yeah, all these things are on the website. Another one, you talk about that, people coming and talking, there's in fact, I think it's during the summer, a youth academy, I believe it happens. It's a week-long program, right?
Yeah, we have two programs that our school resource officer program oversees, and one is a youth academy, which is 10 to 12-year-old students come in for a 5-day period, just throughout the day. So it's just a day camp, if you will, and just an opportunity to build more relationships with the youth in the community. So we have several police officers that will work that camp. They'll have some work with drills and marching and just exposure to law enforcement and what we do. And then beyond that, we have 13 to 18-year-olds. We have a program for our teen academy. So as our hope is, we have someone that comes through our youth academy, and then we have them come to our teen academy, which is just a little bit more advanced version. Now we've got an older age group. We have the ability to do a few more things with them, simulate some traffic stops, and have them experience some different things that are related to law enforcement. Again, another way to build our relationships. And ultimately, what we hope for is we're developing our cadet program. So we have a cadet program through the police department where we bring teenagers in, and we, on a monthly basis, we meet with them, and then they will help us throughout the community with various functions. Helping us direct traffic on property somewhere, helping us with some security at Carmel Fest or sporting events and so forth. Just being an extra eyes and ears, and they often are the individuals that have a desire to be in law enforcement at some point. A
bit of an experience of what the day in and day out work is that you guys do, is what they get to experience. That's interesting. You know, I talk to a lot of people, and I feel that a lot of times people associate police officers with something negative, and very much so like attorneys. And here's what I mean by that is when we're picking up the phone to call an attorney, it's usually because we have something associated negatively going on in our life that we need that attorney. And I think it's similar with the police department. A lot of times when we're picking up the phone to call the police, because we have something negative going on in our lives. And it's really nice to be able to reach out and have that interaction and communication where it's not a negative situation. It's very positive.
Well, what we see is not only the benefit today, but the benefit 20 years from now. Today, when we make a positive impact on a child's life in a various capacity, obviously any parent who has a child who has someone that creates a positive interaction with them is grateful for that. So we've built relationships not just with our students, but with parents and families as a result of these programs. And then ultimately, we look for, as a community, we want to build positive relationships with our community. This is a way for us to keep our community safe. Collaboration, people feeling free to come up and speak with us and share concerns with us, people knowing the avenues to communicate with us to prevent crime and deter crime in our community. It's just a great way for us to keep our community safe and to collaborate with our community as a whole.
Yeah. And being completely transparent, I have to admit I've been involved with the Carmel Teen Academy for a number of years. I love the program. I think it's such an excellent program to develop those relationships with kids. And a lot of them I know, quite a few of them in the past have grown up through the academy. Through that week-long program, they've developed an interest in becoming an officer and progressed from there and actually have become police officers. But it's such a neat program. They get to, one of the things I remember, they have these big tricycles that they ride in. I don't know if they still do this, but they have these goggles they put on. I call them the beer goggles, but they make your vision blurry and as if you were intoxicated or impaired. Yeah. And they get to experience that. And they get to use guns, what are they called? They're kind of a...
Simunition.
Simunition, thank you.
I think that's a brand name, but it's kind of like
it's not real bullets, like a paintball.
Yeah, it's a paint. It's paint that comes out of it. So, and we don't shoot them at each other during the Teen Academy. We do shoot. We give them an opportunity, exposure to help them learn the handling of a gun, and we do a lot of gun safety conversation along with that, so that they understand that. And then as a cadet, they actually get an opportunity to go to our range and experience an actual firearm with significant amount of training and safety going on ahead of time.
Well, it gives them a healthy experience with a firearm, so it's not necessarily something to be afraid of, but something to be respected and handled correctly.
That's correct, yeah.
And that's a very good thing. And they also, I think they have a jail visit and see how that process works. Yeah. And K-9 gets involved, I think, and the motorcycle officers get involved.
Much like our Citizens Academy, the Teen Academy, we bring in a lot of Youth Academy, we bring in a lot of guest speakers from around our department, just to expose our kids to different things. So the traffic unit, our motorcycle guys will come and do a little demonstration. And the jail tour is always an interesting tour for our Teen Academy students. There's a lot of things that they see on TV and social media about what jail is like, and what, there's no understanding of walking through the doors until you walk through the doors, until you hear the door shut behind you. And we don't believe in scared straight programs. That's not what it is. It's a relationship building, and we want you to be exposed and understand what that looks like. Really, this is not a place I want to go. This is not a place I want to end up. But it's really more of just from a law enforcement. I mean, I was, even as a dad, as a state trooper, I had never been inside a jail my entire life growing up. I didn't understand the working process. I didn't understand a book-in at all, what they do with property, how the phone calls work. So it's just a great educational experience.
Mm-hmm. That is really neat. I know they also have a daily PT regimen that they get to learn and experience, and they have qualifications they do, which is really neat. And of course, they learn how to march. Yes. It's a neat program.
It's really fun to see when they first come in for the week, the transition that happens between that first day to our graduation evening is really fun and exciting, and it's rewarding, and there's a lot of confidence building that happens along the way. And as you mentioned, we have a lot of former Teen Academy graduates who we still keep in touch with, and some of them in law enforcement careers, some of them in other careers, but they remember that experience. It's a lot of fun for all of us.
Mm-hmm. I've talked to a lot of parents afterwards too that just they remark on the what it instilled in their children, the discipline and respect. It's amazing what comes out of a 1 week summer camp. Is kind of the way to look at it. That experience for a lot of those kids can be life-changing, and maybe not monumental, but to some degree, every kid's different. They get a life-changing experience out of it.
If nothing else, someone, and it benefits us as well too. We love the relationship building, but it gives them officers that they feel that they can trust and they know and they're comfortable with. If there is something going on in life, they have an avenue to go and address it.
Right. And you mentioned early on in our conversation that the officers running the program, you said SROs. So for those who may not know what that means, what is that?
So we have a school resource officer program in our police department, and that consists of 21 officers that are assigned solely to Carmel Clay schools. So we have a lieutenant that oversees that, 2 sergeants, and then we have 18 patrol officers, 1 in each of our buildings, and then 4 of them are at Carmel High School because it is a large building, large population.
Wow. And those are, you hear about some schools that have police officers that lean more toward security type officers. Carmel has, they're actual police officers.
Yeah, they're all Carmel police officers, and they are just assigned to that detail as a school resource officer. So it's a division there's a unit within our police department. They're all Carmel police officers trained, and still all the expectations and the training and the amount of work that goes on as a regular police officer, as a normal police officer, if you will, and then they're specially trained inside the role as a school resource officer in a variety of different topics that are related to our youth.
Right. I just love that Carmel has those officers that just have that heart for kids that are involved in these programs, not just the youth programs and community programs, but actually that is their job in these schools.
It's really fun to watch them build relationships, and it's fun to see even at events that are outside of the school and see that they become almost rock stars, right? They are the stars as they walk through our Carmel Fest and people see them, or they're walking down the street, hey officer, the kids just love it, and it builds a great relationship, again, for years to come.
Right, right. Just changing what a lot of people the impression people may have of police officers in general, which is a great thing. So thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it,
Thank you for
Lieutenant
having
Schoeff. And hopefully we'll have you back again sometime.
That'd be great.
All right.